Okay, we're going to cut a chamber now. What's absolutely essential is to ensure that where you're cutting it is flat and horizontal. We're going to cut the piece with the face up, and we're going to mark it on there. It's much more sensible to cut it face up. Don't cut it from the back, because that causes too many vibrations. Obviously we're going to need a diamond cutter. We need our safety wear, so we've got our boots, gloves, ear defenders, mask and goggles. I'm going to mark this up with a straight edge and using a marker pen. It's best if we're using a diamond cutter. Ideally it wants to be no thicker than 2 millimeters. The thicker the blade, the more vibration. And we're saying that probably it's best to use a 115 millimeter diameter cutter. The larger ones are too aggressive. Cut it along the top there, down there. Use this as extra vibration protection when you lay it on the flat. Yeah. So if you are going to be standing on it, make sure there's no chance of it bending when you're standing on it to steady it. So I would recommend, if you are going to stand on it, spread your weight using another bit of scrap ply or MDF or wood. Let's sort of cut this down. This one's a little bit high, I'm imagining, so the chamber needs to be cut down. And let's cut it right through the centre of a brick or at the edge of a brick. Let's see how this works. Obviously you'll be measuring this up. One of the keys to this, I think, is to have as new a blade as possible. This isn't that new, so it's actually cutting quite well. But don't force it through, let the blade do the cutting. If you start forcing it through, that's going to cause unnecessary vibration. So my PPE. And let's cut. I'll now cut the edge and see what it's like when we go through the mortar joints. So there's an angle cut. I had a little bit of a snag earlier because sometimes if you twist the blade in there, you'll know this better than me, it snags and that will cause unnecessary vibration. If you twist the blade that way, that happens. If you twist the blade that way as well, that's going to happen. You know that. So we've gone through that mortar joint. That's holding together reasonably well. Wouldn't be surprised if that cracks off in some. That edge of that brick, that's obviously never going to stay there. You could glue it in or just use a bit of the mortar that brick there, that's just about holding in place with the mortar. You might need to use some of the high temperature glue if bits of brick fall off, and that's pretty straightforward.